People always ask me how I stretch my dough like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down in manageable chunks and show you how you can slap the dough like a pro. Let's go. First things first, you're going to need some good dough. So what we have here is we have my dough. Now, I wouldn't be trying to chuck around like highly hydrated dough, like in the 70s, 80% hydration, stuff like that. That needs a little bit more of, you know, a delicate touch, shall we say. But this is 62% hydration. This is like classic Neapolitan style. And we are going to do the classic Neapolitan slap method to show you how to do it. So first things first, don't be afraid to use quite a bit of this stuff. This is a Semilla Rimacinata. This one just here, this is the one I use the Della Giovanna one. This is just my deck flour, okay? Now, use whatever flour you've got. It's just this one seems to have a higher like burn rate, so you're not going to burn it in your oven when you're launching it at high temperatures, okay? Because this method is like opening the dough is probably the most kind of efficient, the most, I'd say, cool looking and just efficient. You know, a lot of people struggle with getting like a thin middle when they're opening their dough, when they're either doing like a DJ method, back of the knuckles, stretching ice, driving the car, stuff like that. But the slap method, the way you do it and the way you catch it and the way it pulls, it's so quick. The dough doesn't get any like time to sort of like stretch that middle. It's just efficient. So I'm going to break it down into really manageable chunks for you guys. So let's get a dough ball out. I need to cook a couple of pizzas for my kids, so let's get a dough ball out. Right, first off, getting the dough ball out. Flour, there's 15 in this tray. These are 270 gram dough balls. They will make a 12-inch pizza. I'm going to just cut, if you have a look at this, I'm just cutting down the lines. Don't worry if your dough balls meet each other like they do with mine. You just got to cut them out. And then a little bit of flour. Don't worry, this scraper will not scratch the tray. It's sliding on the flour. Get underneath it and lift it up. We have our dough ball. Okay, nice amount of semilla. The beauty of the slap method is it gets rid of all that excess flour anyway. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you've got loads on the deck, okay? Right, what we've got, we have our dough ball here. Now, this is the bottom of the dough. You can see, if I lift it up, you can see all the beautiful fermentation bubbles in it. Now, that to me is what that's going to be the bottom of my pizza in the oven. So I just turn it over. And at this point, I'm just going to bring it together slightly, okay? Just, you know, they've sort of ended up a little bit square in the tray. I want to get them back into a round. But if you overly mess with your dough at this point, if I try and like really put it into a round, I'm going to re-strengthen it and I'm going to build up that gluten even more. And then the dough can become tough. It can become like hard to stretch and it's going to spring back. So what we're going to do, I'm going to think of a little smiley face here. I'm going to get 3 fingers from each hand and I'm going to push the air down towards the crust. Okay, we're going to leave about a finger's width, my sort of index finger's width around here. Okay, so starting at the bottom, sort of kind of just below the bottom, like there's a smiley face, mouth, like there, and we're just going to push the air towards the crust. Okay, and when I get there, what I'm doing is I'm using this 3rd finger in each hand to sort of build out and craft that edge, the cornicione. Then I'm going to go back into the middle and I go towards the edge and I'm going to splay my fingers out. You see that? I've stretched it one way. I now need to stretch it the other way. A lot of pizza makers, you'll see, will spin the dough over and go from like the other side. I don't like to do that because I've got enough flour. The only reason they're probably doing that is to make sure there's enough flour so the top doesn't stick. But because I turned it upside down in the dough, the top is floured enough and I don't want to force any more flour into the top of the pizza. So I just pick it up and spin it round. Now working from the bottom to the top, and I'm just working my way around like that. Now we actually have a really nice base already. The dough is quite soft today, so you know I'm not going to be able, I've got to go quite light with it. I'm not going to be able to slam it too much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to place it onto my wrist. Okay, I'm going to turn my hand over and bring the dough with it. So I'm just going to get my thumb just here, turning the hand over, bringing it with it, and I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to swipe away all this excess flour. Okay, I'm going to put my hand at 90 degrees and I'm going to slam it down, keeping this hand slammed onto the surface. At this point, what I'm doing is I'm just pulling on my hand here. Now we're just back where we started. This is going to go back onto my wrist. Okay, so I'm going to turn my hand over, back onto my wrist. And each time I'm doing it, I'm kind of spinning it slightly like this here. I'm just giving it a little quarter turn. So then I'm catching it until we have a perfectly open base, just like this. Any little air bubbles that have appeared, you can get rid of them. Now that is perfect. It's even, it's lovely, it's ready to be topped. Just going to get rid of that little air bubble there. We've got probably, like, if I get the peel, we're pretty much at 12 inches. I mean, it's going to need to be sort of readdressed when we get it onto the peel. Let's show you this one more time. We have our dough here. We are going to get our semolina. Going to grab a little bit. Going to cut out a dough ball all the way down either side. Slide the peel underneath it, and we're going to lift it up upside down. Let's do it from a different angle and show you this. Okay, so we have our dough ball. We're going to think the little smiley face. Going to push the air towards the crust, moving our fingers down, forming that cornicione. Fan it out, turn it over, bottom to the top again. We can use our hand just to craft up against, just to give it something to push up against, just to craft it into a nice circle. Any little bubbles, I like to pop them off. When you can fit your whole hand in it, that is when we're ready to do this. Let's show you this in some slow-mo. Until we have it opened to the desired amount. So it's just slam down and you're catching it, okay? That hand always slams down onto the deck like that, and we're catching it with the left hand. Okay, I'm right-handed, I slam with my right, catch with my left. If you're the other way around, or whichever way feels like good for you. But if you have a look, I've got a very, very even base. No thin spots, no thick spots. Really nice, very fast, very well stretched dough. So that's it. That's how I do it. You know, I think showing you in slow motion, sort of, you know, hopefully you get it a little bit. It's all about, like, you know, just slamming it, catching it, twisting it, slamming it, catching it. With every sort of slam, I'm doing another kind of another turn, and it's just the most efficient and, you know, fast, most consistent way that I've found of stretching dough. I used to do the DJ method. You know, I've been doing it this way for like 10 years now. I can, you know, throw it in the air as well. You can slap and throw and stuff like that. And you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. It, to me, is the best way of doing it for this style of pizza. So, you know, give it a go. Just commit to it. If you don't want to keep doing it with dough, grab yourself like a tea towel, like a square tea towel, and just have a go with that. Sounds silly, but it does work. You can get really good silicone like pizza discs that like people use for acrobatics. They're really good for practicing it as well. You know, just yeah, give it a go. Let us know how you get on in the comments. And if you're enjoying this one, I'll bring out a whole little series about how to pick the pizza up on the peel, put it in the oven, spinning it and everything like that, all the little hints and tips and things that I may have learned over the years. So thank you very much. If you liked it, give it a subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.